Everybody, hope you're having a great Sunday. Scott Robbins with a pair of former Rainbow Warriors, James Anastasiadis and Kanai Akana. Well, these two teams hooked up just a couple of nights ago right here at the Stan Sheriff Center, and it was all Hawaii as UH had a pretty easy sweep. You look at the numbers right there, and the one that really stands out, how about the kill percentage? Boy, hit 586 on the night to $147 for the Pioneers. Hawaii also racked up 10 service aces, seven of those by Keone Thim. And let's take a look at some of the highlights. We start off with Louis Sakanoko, who went to the left side, his more natural spot on Wednesday.
Louis Sakanoko had himself a night, added 7 kills that night, and we kind of saw him hit from everywhere. He was super effective on the left side, but added a bunch of kills from that big.
And we talked about Keone behind the service line tonight.
Absolutely. Keone's doing a great job of controlling his service mentality when he's back there, right? Not a good toss. He's putting it in play, and he has such a great arm. His 90-80% swing is an ace.
And maybe the most consistent player so far this year really has been Alakai Todd.
Alakai Todd has been phenomenal the last 4 games for the Warriors. He's really secured that opposite spot. And like we talked about on Friday night, he just seems a lot more comfortable stepping into the role, and he's doing what he's supposed to do, playing like a true oppo, keeping the ball high, and when it's not a perfect set, just placing it in bounds.
And so those 3 and the rest of the guys got the easy sweep. Hawaii now 7-1. What did you take away from the match on Friday?
Match on Friday, I mean, Hawaii's offense is really starting to groove, right? Tread is finding connection with his middles, finding that connection with Alakai Todd and that middle bick going. That's something that I want to see a little bit more of, is that middle bick, right? We see Chaz, Spiros, all those high flyers on Hawaii. Those are the guys that really excel at hitting the bick set.
Hawaii's just playing in a very good rhythm right now. I think it's something that the fans are a little bit more used to seeing from last year. They've built that connection. They have that chemistry, and it's very well orchestrated. They've, like you said, found that chemistry with Fred Rosenthal, new setter. They're obviously going to be shaky, but it's forming very well.
Okay, on Friday, there was no Chaz, there was no Spiros. Those guys got the night off. Keep in mind, Hawaii plays Stanford on Wednesday, who, by the way, lost to CSUN last night before coming out to the island. So do we expect another load management type of ball game?
Absolutely. Just like we're seeing in the NBA right now, I'd expect some load management from Charlie Wade, except I think it's a pretty smart move by Charlie Wade, right? Resting the guys with championship experience, getting the bench guys a little bit more on the court in-game experience. I think we can expect the same thing.
It also just really encourages the bench and the practice team to play that much harder, given a shot to prove what they're able to do in a like situation. In the unfortunate event that someone's maybe not playing great or an injury happens, they have game reps in order to step in and fill in those big roles. But what I loved is there was no drop-off in game. The bench came in and they played phenomenal. And especially when you're playing a team that might not be to your standard or your level, you would tend to see a drop-off in the game. But they played very clean and very efficient.
Well, no load management when it comes to our broadcast pair, who will be once again calling the action this afternoon. Side on Chris, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, Scott. Yeah, next to C-Mac, Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. And C-Mac, one thing that was really interesting about the other night in the first match between these two teams, you had 4 in the starting rotation for Hawaii, 4 players from Hawaii high schools, with Leo Choi as the starting libero. You also had Keone Thim, who was a that night, along with Alakai Todd, and also Alex Parks, who comes out of Mariner School, got his first career start, and played pretty well, and he's a guy who is likely to see more action here this evening.
Yeah, actually, I think he'll start tonight. I asked Kapono Faye about him and said, hey, tell us a little bit more about Alex. He says, well, tell you, first of all, he's really smart. He's like a 4.0 student. He's a really good teammate. The players like him a lot. He's very selfless with his behavior, and always there to help set up the gym, close up the gym, kind of just does it all.
Yeah, including take his hand at trying to take down his fellow middle, Kurt Neusterer, in the game of chess they were playing earlier this evening, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so Pono comes by and said, hey, did you see Alex and Neusterer playing some chess? And he says, oh, those guys got lessons to learn. I'm the master.
Yeah, he's the chess master, apparently.
Kapono beats everybody.
For the record, Kurt Neusterer did take down Alex Parks today, but tomorrow, of course, is always another day. Now, on the other side for Tusculum, hey, look, they were pretty overmatched against this Hawaii team, as you would anticipate, but you had some really strong individuals individual performances. And Declan Wingo, he ended up hitting 11 kills and hit 308 against this Hawaii team. That is no easy task, particularly when this is a Hawaii defense and front that knows he's likely to get the ball when he's out there.
Exactly. I was really impressed because once Hawaii saw that he was getting a lot of kills, they started loading up on him, and they're there waiting for him, and he found ways to hit it between, in the hole, chiseled off the end blocker. He hit the sharp angle. He kind of had all the shots, and part of it might be because almost all these guys play beach volleyball. There's a men's beach volleyball program at Tusculum, and it's really impressive how they all have those beach shots in their repertoire.
Yeah, what they also have in their repertoire is a new uniform that's going to be unveiled here tonight, specifically designed for this matchup, for this road trip out to the islands, and a jersey that, unlike the other jerseys that get handed down to each year's respective roster, they're going to be able to keep these.
Yeah, they're very excited about it. I think they actually had to pay a little bit for them because they get to keep them forever because it's got their name on the back. But it clearly is a wonderful momentum that I think Coach Bucky has had a lot to do with making sure that this team was going to have a memorable trip.
Yeah, well, we look forward to that reveal for sure. The Hanaho rematch, Hawaii and Tusculum. We will see you at first serve. Let's send it back over to the corner crew.
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, one of the most exciting plays in volleyball has to be the roof, right? Everybody loves to see a roof, but, there's a lot more to blocking than just that.
They don't register as actual blocks, but when you look at the number of good touches we are doing and creating rallies and scoring that way, our digging numbers drop. Obviously, the serving numbers are high. So defense, I think we've been pretty good, and the blocking numbers will come as you play against more teams that hit the ball more.
It really comes down to strategy, so we try to analyze our opponents as much as possible to just funnel them towards our defense. Sometimes if we're playing a team that has too many options, we'll just have to do one-on-ones and hope that our guys in the back row just show that they can get up as well.
This is something that I've really needed to work on individually because I've been doing horribly at it, but we've been doing a great job as a team adapting our blocking strategy as the game goes on to how they're running their offense. I think Capono talked a lot about that with us, how as the game continues, we identify their strategies and we slowly start to stop them. I think from a blocking point of view, we really need to work on looking at what they're doing beforehand on the scouting report and starting off the games with those key things in mind.
Time now for Over Under. It is sponsored by Heineken. We're going to talk about blocking, gentlemen. Hawaii's averaging, I think, about 2.16 blocks per set, but we're going to up it a bit tonight to 3.25. Now, I know there's no quarter block, but that's all you get. You don't want to push here. So over, under 3.25 blocks per set. James, you're first.
I think they're going to go over. I think after the first night against Tusculum, they have a little bit more that they're analyzed, and we saw they have a lot of beachy shots. I think this is something that Hawaii's going to anticipate. The blocker's going to be a little bit more patient, and they're really good at reaching and putting the ball down. My guess is that they're going to go over 3.25 blocks.
If I was betting man, I'd go with the under, right? I think Hawaii's going to put such good wrist pressure, getting Tusculum out of system, that they're not even going to have that opportunity to just, right? They're going to use their beach game, just shot, put it in play, and then also the kind of this psychological game that comes into play when you're a little bit outmatched physically, right? You almost want to start avoiding the block, so I think we can expect more error from Tusculum. That's why I'd go with the under.
James, I love you like a son, but I have to agree with Kanai.
Tonight will tell. Tonight will tell.
All right, guys. Good blocker or a good blocking team.
A lot of it is reading, but also what your hands are doing. A lot of people really tend to move a little bit too much when blocking, trying to make reads in the air instead of being solid and over. And that's probably the biggest one, is if your hands are at least pressed over the net, you're going to get a lot of good touches, and a lot of times you're going to get solid blocks. Sometimes a lot of players will tend to go too high with their hands and allow teams to tool them. It's really a pressing game.
Yeah, I think we can watch Voss as a really good example, right? He's very disciplined, keeps his hands together, always pressing over the net from the second he jumps all the way while he's in these pressing over the net. Something that not a lot of young players do, that they could look to Voss as a really good example of how to be a great blocker.
You heard Charlie, and he thinks that the blocking numbers will rise as the competition gets a little more. How come? Why is that?
Because those are going to be a little bit more aggressive. They're going to have better swings. Kind of like Kanai said, Tusculum has had a lot of errors. They had 15 errors on Friday night. Something that you're going to expect when you don't have such good, Charlie would say, is hand-on-ball contact. When you play more elite teams, their contact on the ball is better. If it hits the block, they're usually either getting tooled or the block's going straight down to the ground.
You agree?
I second everything James said.
Wow, look at that, Jake.
We know something.
Thank goodness for that. All right, the three of us will be back after the break, but when we come back, we're going to focus on that guy. Probably the best blocker on the team, G. Voss.
As a team, we always want to be at the top, right? So we've been working very hard during the off season and during the beginning of the season to get everything calibrated. So at the end of it, we're trying to go to another NCAA final and hopefully win it all.
Back in Mānoa here on a Sunday. It's the rematch, number 3 Hawaii and Tusculum. And there you see G. Voss. You heard the words from Mr. Voss. Let's hear more from Hawaii's starting middle.
He's a complete player, and he's really has evolved into a dominant attacker, and all while being a really good blocker. And he serves in bounds at such a high percentage. His point scoring is one of the highest on the team. So he's off to a great start, and looking forward to him having a great year.
The teams always have different types of leaders in them, and in different aspects. Like Spiros will be more of the emotional Kurt as well, bringing that really just mana almost, whereas I try to just be the sturdy, reliable place to where if things aren't going right, if we're not getting things done as we should, then you can just always fall back on it and have that stability.
Let's check out the profile of G. Voss, the Brazilian native. You look what he's done so far this year. Just insane numbers, particularly that hitting percentage up near 600, 1.72 kills percent. He's got 4 service aces, but he has forced a lot of bad serve receives. He is just an all-around volleyball player who it doesn't feel like he has any real weaknesses.
No, it really doesn't, right? Some of the most electric plays from him are when he gets a great block touch, just takes 2 steps off the net and absolutely bounces the ball with very minimal effort, right? So the things he does out there, he just makes it look really easy. Something that he's underrated for, I mean, we talk about it a lot, I still think he's underrated for it, is his blocking. He'll just close a seam out of nowhere, gets these sneaky blocks. I mean, James, you've seen Voss play for 6 years now. What do you think of it?
He's always been pretty incredible at blocking. And again, someone that grew up in the volleyball mecca country of the world in Brazil. He grew up watching some of the top players. And again, it's a very technical way that they grew up playing in Brazil. It's something that you learn from a young age, is how to press. And again, like you mentioned, he comes out of nowhere and he's very strong of just taking what he needs to take and allows the back row to do their job. I think that's another thing that speaks so highly of his volleyball IQ is he doesn't try to do anyone else's job. He takes care of what he needs to take care of, and everyone else does theirs. But the biggest thing that I love about Voss is he's a silent killer. He'll do something incredible that a lot of people might have once in their career, just walks it off super casually like nothing ever happened.
But that is who he is, though. That's his personality. He's pretty laid back, right?
He's super laid back, but also just a great guy. And I think that's really what speaks to his leadership on this team. He's always going to be someone that the team could look to when there's high pressure situations, maybe a little bit chaotic. You could always count on Voss to bring that calmness to the court.
Kanai, what impresses me is that here he is in his final year working with a 17-year-old freshman setter, yet his hitting percentage is even better than what it has been the last couple of years with the National Player of the Year in Jakob Telloff.
Absolutely. So something that Voss talked about with Tread is how receptive Tread has been to his feedback, right? And having that dynamic where Tread is 17, right, and Voss has been here, he has that experience.
How old is G. Voss really, though? Do we really
We got to check the passport.
Cannot trust the Brazilian birth certificates.
But Tread being receptive, right? It's really grown that connection. it's led to him hitting 580 on the season, which is just ridiculous.
What are some of the intangibles, though, being in this program for so long, winning a couple of national championships? What does he bring to the floor this year?
He brings a lot more leadership, I would say. It's something that we know Hawaii's been struggling with a little bit. They have a couple of veterans, but veterans that have never really stepped into that leadership role. They had Philip, they've had Jakob. Before that, you've had Joe Worsley, Rado Parapunov, some big names. This season, it's maybe a little bit more of the, kind of like everyone's mentioned, the underdogs that weren't really the big names. And he stepped in very good as that, I would even say, father figure for this team, you know? Not only on the court leadership, but also the off the court. He's very professional. He keeps it very real and very clean.
And his haircut.
You gotta love that haircut.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, bald is beautiful, guys.
It really is. We might go there soon.
In a couple of years. All right, we're gonna take a break, but when we come back, the three of us, we're gonna break down the rematch here on a Sunday evening. Hawaii, Tusculum.
Too hot for you, boy? Better call Steve's. Steve's Plumbing and AC are the island expert when it comes to keeping you cool and dry. We offer same-day service from the island's most trusted team. Your Ohana can expect a technician that's clean, prompt, and always with aloha. This month, get your air conditioning running right with Steve's Workmanship's guaranteed AC tune-up for only $79. Call or book online today.
Steve's Plumbing and AC service. Just call Steve's.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
No, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
Starting the new year off on the right foot isn't always easy. Luckily, My Longs has everything I need.
Make Longs a part of your day.
Why is Kalo at the heart of American Savings Bank? Because we believe in strong roots. At ASB, we're committed to investing in Hawaii, our home. American Savings Bank, voted best bank in Hawaii.
Hey, I'm Dudley Andrew with Dutz Grinds and Good Times. Here's what's on this week. I'm heading out to the North Shore to meet up with Chris Latronic, who happens to live right across the street from Velziland, the spot I want to surf. I'll ask him about his Hanabata days growing up on the North Shore, his surfing career, working on board stories with his uncle Mike Latronic, and ultimately making his mark on network TV. Plus, after we surf, we're going to go to Stonefish Grill in Haleiwa and get 3 of his favorite dishes. So catch me on Spectrum OC16, Mondays at 9:30 and all through the week.
Time Out for Health is brought to you by Hawaii Pacific Health.
Aloha, my name is Dr. Jay Yu. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at the Hawaii Pacific Health Bone and Joint Center at Straub Medical Center. Today we're going to talk about hamstring and gluteus muscle weakness, which can lead to ACL injuries in particular. The first exercise we're going to demonstrate is the single leg extension on the Bosu ball. First, you lie on the floor. And then next, Catherine's going to put one foot on the Bosu ball, and the other foot up in the air. And next, she's going to push up on her heel, get to the top, and squeeze her glute. That's really important for glute activation. And then go back on the ground. And she's going to repeat this for about 10 to 12 times on each leg. Another exercise that Catherine is going to demonstrate is a single leg deadlift. So first, she's going to stand about shoulder width apart. She's going to lift up her left leg, and with her left arm, she's going to reach down for her right foot. She's going to keep her back straight, chest forward, and repeat this about 10 to 12 times on each leg. Now, this exercise is really good for glute and hamstring activation and strengthening.
It's a Sunday afternoon in Mānoa. The rematch, number 3 Hawaii against the Pioneers of Tusculum. Of course, these two teams matched up on a Friday night. And Kanai, tell us who the leaders were for the Pioneers.
So here are some of our Tusculum stat leaders from Friday night. On the left, we have Declan Wingo, who really helped get this Tusculum team through, right? 11 kills, hitting 308, really good kill percentage. We can expect more from him tonight. Colby Landry added 5 kills on 125 percentage, and then Tristan Blake did a pretty good job dishing out those sets to his offense with 20 assists.
All right, let's take a look at the season stat comparisons. There you see Hawaii City at 7-1. Tusculum, 1 win was against King earlier this year, and all the numbers are going to favor the University of Hawaii, but they're impressive numbers. I mean, 390 team hitting percentage. You see the dig numbers. Hawaii has been very good defensively. The serving numbers are pretty interesting, right? Same amount of matches, but only 22 service aces for Tusculum to Hawaii 72, and more errors for the Pioneers than the Rainbow Warriors. Who led the way for Hawaii, James?
For Hawaii, Steady Eddie Alakai Todd had 13 kills, hitting an incredible, almost perfect 765 kill percentage. He's just been outstanding for the Warriors. And then we got to see Sakonoko back in the lineup, but on the outside on Friday night, his more true position, and again, had 9 kills, hitting 533. Big hitting percentage for him. Keone Tim, not as good as the other two's hitting percentage, hit 300, only 5 kills, but he added 7 aces on the night. And I think that's something we're going to expect from him tonight. He's either going to try and tie or beat the Hawaii record, which is 9.
All right, it's just kind of a laid-back Sunday, so let's pull up the coach's couch and talk about this rematch. What are you guys looking for? I think we all kind of have an idea of what's going to happen, but what are you looking for tonight in this matchup?
I think we can expect something similar from Hawaii tonight, really high, efficient volleyball. What I want to talk about is Tusculum, right? I want them to get their middle more involved. So I would hope to add a little bit more deception from those middle attacks, right? Yesterday we saw that middle just coming in on a very traditional one set right next to the center. That's not going to do it when you're playing guys like Guilherme Voss, right? You got to go into that 3 slot, hit the back one, or even fake like you're going to go back one and hit a 1, right? You got to have some sort of deception when you're going against middles that are 6'7", 6'9", and the Hawaii middles that are just, they're so efficient.
Yeah.
For Hawaii, we could expect the same. The thing I'm a little bit worried about is when you play so efficiently on a Friday night, especially as the bench warmers, you want to show a little bit more the second night. And that's where things could get out of control a little bit. I would like to see Hawaii, again, just trust their offense, trust their system, and stay a little bit more calm and collective. But again, I think they're going to have fun with it. It should be similar. That's my only worry with the Hawaii side.
You know, looking at Tusculum, though, you can tell they're well coached, and they look like they know what they're doing out there. They obviously just don't have the same horses Hawaii has. But they look like they're going to be very competitive in their independent league.
Yes, they really do. Something that they do really well is their serve receive, right? They move their feet well. They hold their platform, really good platforms. That's probably a credit to all the experience they get, not just with the indoor program, but also with the beach, right? So these guys have a lot of game reps, but like you said, they're just not at the same level of physicality as Hawaii.
The biggest thing is their offense. They do an incredible job, like we said, defensively, but passing. But I think that's where the beach game hurts them a little bit. They're so used to going up against a single block, let alone maybe a little bit of a smaller block compared to like Tread Rosenthal, Guilherme Voss, Alakai Todd. They're not so used to it.
All right, should be a fun one. 3 of us will be back at intermission. But up next, Anthem, Hawaii Pono'i, and the opening serve.
Aloha and welcome to another exciting evening of Warrior Ball 24. Volleyball fans, please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem and Hawaii Pono'i. Fans, please remove your hats, and veterans are encouraged to render a hand salute. Singing tonight is a proud alumnus of the University of Hawaii at Mānoa, receiving both her undergraduate and master's degree. A former Miss Hawaii 2000, she is currently the Director of Institutional Advancement at her high school alma mater, Hawaii Baptist Academy. She has been married to her husband, Randy, for almost 20 years, and they have 2 beautiful and talented daughters, Randy and Reese. Please welcome to the Simplify Arena at Stan Share Center, Billy Takake, leader.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail as at the twilight's celeste gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Hawaii pono I nana I komo I kalani ali ke ali makualani e kameha meha e na kawa e pale me ka ihe makualani e kameha meha e na kawa e pale me ka ihe.
Ladies and gentlemen, proud alum of the University of Hawaii, Billy Takaki Leader.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, it's a rematch here on this Sunday afternoon at Mānoa, Hawaii against Tusculum. The Bows taking all three sets in pretty easy fashion on Friday. Tusculum looking to at least have a good showing here before they head back to Tennessee. Time now to meet the starting lineups.
Aloha Keakaula. Good early evening, everyone. The Rainbow Hana welcomes you to Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii in majestic Mānoa for tonight's NCAA men's volleyball contest, matching IVA member the Tusculum Pioneers versus Big West Conference member, your third-ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Introducing the Tusculum Pioneers starting lineup. And opposite, 5'10" sophomore from San Juan, Puerto Rico, number 1, Javes de la Cruz. And outside hitter, 6'4" junior from Chester, Virginia, number 4, Declan Wingo. And middle blocker, 6'5" freshman from Virginia Beach, Virginia, number 5, Morgan Makovic. And libero 1, 5'11" senior from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 6, Taylor West. And middle blocker, 6'4" sophomore from Tucson, Arizona, number 9, Jaden Bramhall. At center, 6'3" sophomore from Allen, Texas, number 10, Tristan Blade. And at outside hitter, 6' senior from Belle Rose, Louisiana, floor captain number 11, Colby Landry. The graduate assistant, Jacob Rambo, director of volleyball operations, Alberto Chiapparini. Head coach for the Pioneers, Brian Buckius.
My city wherever I go.
And now, meet and greet the starting lineup for your Hawaii Rainbow Warriors! At libero, 5'7" junior from Waialae, Oahu, number 5, Eleu Choi. At middle blocker, 6'9" sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 8, Kurt Nusterer. And opposite, 6'9" senior from Kailua, Oahu, number 14, Alakai Todd. And outside hitter, 6' senior from Kaimuki, Oahu, number 20, Keone Thim. And middle blocker, 6'7" senior from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, number 21, Guilherme Voss. And outside hitter, 6'5" freshman from Paris, France, number 23, Louis Sakamoko. And at center, 6'8" freshman from Manhattan Beach, California, floor captain, number 13, Trent Rosenthal. Assistant coaches Ku Ponofei and Chad Giesman. Associate coach Milan Zarkovic. Head coach for your Rainbow Warriors, Charlie Wade.
The third-ranked Rainbow Warrior volleyball team was lethal behind the service line Friday night, blasting 11 aces, including 7 by Keone Thim, to win its first-ever meeting against Tusculum. Hawaii head coach Charlie Wade made thorough use of his bench, getting 12 players into the match while giving Spiros Hakas and Chaz Galloway some much-needed rest. Up next, the two teams tangle again in the Hanaho rematch. It's the Tusculum Pioneers and the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And with that, we welcome you inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa Leahy sitting next to Chris McLaughlin. C-Mac, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Well, for Tusculum, it's help for Wingo. Number 10 had 11 kills on Friday. The rest of the team had just 14. He needs some help tonight. And for Hawaii, more bench. Again, I think Charlie Wade will continue to give the bench players valuable time and rest. Key starters because of the quick turnaround against Stanford, number 4 team in the country, on Wednesday.
Hawaii took down Tusculum in 3 the other night, 25, 11, 16, and 17. Hawaii hit 586 for the match. They committed a grand total of just 5 hitting errors the entire evening. So here we go, round 2. And Alakai Todd gets things started with what was one of the themes 2 nights ago, a score from the service line. It's an ace to get things going.
This is part of Alakai Todd's game, I think, that has really improved, maybe the most improved is his serving. He gets it in, he hits it hard, he hits it consistently, he moves it around.
Has at least one service ace in every match he's played this year, and then comes up with the dig there. So Rosenthal, he's going to set up Todd on the D set, and he destroys it. And it's Hawaii scoring the first 2 points.
Nice comment there. He D set and he destroys it. I like it.
I'm here to please you, my friend. Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Again, a new look starting rotation here. Charlie Wade employing the load management tactic with regards to starting hitters Spiros Hakas and Chaz Galloway. Right side, this is Javes de la Cruz, and he is denied access. Luis Sakanoko starting on the outside for the second straight match. Able to jump up next to G. Voss, but I think it was Louis who got the gist of it.
Yeah, and just as Kana said in the pregame show, G. Voss gets to the outside so quickly and closes that block so quickly. There are rarely holes in Hawaii's block.
Yeah, Hawaii outblocked the Pioneers 7-0 2 nights ago. They've scored the first 3 points. And Todd, into the twine it goes. Put a good run here to get things going. Rainbow Warriors coming into this match 7-1 on the year, third ranked in the AVCA poll. Tusculum down to 1-7. Members of the Intercollegiate Volleyball Association, formerly the Independent Volleyball Association, rebranded. Good pass there by Sakanoko, and that middle set to Voss was a little low, so he punched it long. And immediately G. Voss looking at his setter and gave him the gesture, put it up higher.
Yeah. I love that serve by De La Cruz from Tusculum that time. He just ripped it. And how about the pass that time from Sakanoko? It was really good.
Javes de la Cruz has a live arm to say the least. That time, though, it goes into the string. And so 4 serving 2. And speaking of live arms, Louis Sakanoko retreats back behind the service line. 9 kills, hit .533 the other night. And he had a few that may have dented the floor here at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center.
Either that or almost deflating the volleyball.
Took a little something off. A good pass that time. Middle set, though, was a little low, and so Hawaii will have the advantage. Here's Todd from behind the line. And that was some fire, but the up by Taylor West, the libero, at least gave Tusculum an opportunity to return it. They're unable to do so. And another point for Hawaii. Alakai Todd is on some kind of tear here over the last couple of weeks.
He really is, Kano. I love the way he's playing right now. And how about that dig by Taylor West? He just hung in there and popped it up. Amazing.
Brian Bucky is in his 3rd season with Tusculum. Was named head coach back in December of 2021. And there's an ace by Luis Sakanoko. It just scratched the top of the tape, but was able to find the floor. And Luis Sakanoko now with 13 aces on the year. Hawaii has scored 3 straight. Remember his introduction to the Hawaii fans, where he tied a Hawaii single match record with 9 aces in his debut against Emmanuel. He tried to ramp it up a little bit on that occasion.
Interesting, though, you know, he struggled in the road, though. Did you notice that, Kano, with his serving? And I thought that he would be way more consistent because he has so many serves and the ways he can put the ball in the court. He was not successful at all with his in percentage at all.
And how about that ace? Colby Landry putting some extra mustard on it. The 6-foot senior from Belrose, Louisiana. He's the floor captain. Had 5 kills, hit .125, and 3 digs on Friday. Charlie Wade now up to 276 career victories. As G. Voss gets that one slowed down by the Tusculum block. So the outside set goes to Declan Wingo, and he tools the block. And so Tusculum coming out with a little more juice here in the opening frame as compared to 2 nights ago.
Night number 2, always closer. And it's mostly because both teams have a look at their film and have better scouting reports.
Outside, here's Thim up the ladder and down the chute. You know, Keone Thim had a handful of put downs the other night. Oh, and he also had 7 service aces.
What a night he had. He's the one who hit 76 miles an hour on the road for one of his serves.
In his 3rd year with the Hawaii program, G. Voss deals one out of the deck as well.
Wait a second, doesn't he usually float serve Cano? What's up with that?
That was much more heavy-handed. A little more G-force from G. Voss. And it is 8 serving 5 here in frame number 1. Yeah, it's a little more Pulehu style there from Voss. And the up by Alaka Itad sends Tread Rosenthal, all 6'9" of him, coming right at us. And I hate to tell you, but I was about to book it out of here. I was in no way trying to protect you or anybody else at our press table.
I was trying to set it.
Yeah,
he just stole the ball away
your
from me.
volleyball instincts kicked in
I wanted to set that thing.
much more sharply than mine. As the serve by Makovic goes into the net. Tusculum University coming down from Tusculum, Tennessee, a suburb of Greenville. 0-4 this year against ranked opponents. They battled Ball State on the road a couple of times, lost in 4, and then the next night lost in 3. Overpass, Keone Thim knows how to deposit it.
Keone Thim, 5'10", but plays like he's about 6'4", 6'5". Quick hops, gets up, no approach, hammers it down.
Tusculum also lost to 19th ranked Charleston here against number 3 Hawaii. They trail by 4.
University of Hawaii Sports on Spectrum Sports, sponsored by Bank of
100 here in this opening set, CMAC. 4 kills, 6 attempts, and 1 hitting error. They have also already recorded 3 service aces, had 11 total the other night. Rosenthal with the serve. Hawaii up 4, outside, that's Wingo. And he didn't get it above that Hawaii block. Hit it into the net. He had Curtin Neusterer, who is getting the start tonight at the other middle position opposite Guilherme Voss. Came off the bench 2 nights ago. Alex Parks actually got his first career start on Friday, but we'll likely see him later on in this match. It's likely to be a fairly quick night for Guilherme Voss, you would imagine, depending on how this first set goes.
I would agree 100%. I think G. Voss is going to play 1 set, and that'll be it. And Alex Parks will carry the load the rest of the night.
So here's Tristan Blake, starting setter with the serve. Sakanopo, decent pass there. Backside, it's Thim. Tried to take line, and he missed it wide.
Oh, I like the set, and I like the swing. He just missed barely down the line.
Had a solo blocker against him. And so Tusculum trailing by 3, putting up much more of a fight than what we saw in the first set the other night. Pass a little tight to the net. How about the one-handed back set by Rosenthal? But now the advantage to the Pioneers. And Wingo got a good swing on it. Great stretch out by Rosenthal as well as Aleu Choi. Now Wingo again. Did he get a touch? No, he didn't. Get the best contact on that swing. And so Hawaii able to wrestle away the point there. Tusculum also unveiling this evening, CMAC, a brand new jersey specifically designed for this matchup, for this road trip.
I know, a great story. They knew this was going to be a monumental, once-in-a-lifetime kind of an event. So it's especially designed with flowers and the Hawaiian Islands chain and their name on the back.
Nice play there by Alakatita to sort of knuckle it off the block. And Hawaii up 5. And there you see some of the floral print. I personally like the fact that it's a little bit more on the subtle side as opposed to something that's really overtly floral. And then you see on the front of the jersey, down near the waist, the Hawaiian Island chain. Names on their backs, which the other jerseys don't have because they get passed down from year to year. And so they'll be able to keep these as a memento for the rest of their lives.
And they're very happy about that, by the way.
Here's Alaka Itad. scramble on the Tusculum side. So huge advantage for Hawaii. Todd with the full swing, and he just rips it through the Chavez de la Cruz block.
A mismatch there. 6'9" against 5'10". Is that fair? That's not a fair fight, is it, Kanoa?
You'll probably lean towards Alakai Todd in that particular scenario. Here's Thim, 14, serving 8. Took a little something off of that one. Here's Wingo from the opposite position, and they're going to give that point to Hawaii. They're going to say that it was out either off the antenna or maybe didn't get over the net at all, but I think we're going to get a challenge here because the Pioneer players vehemently protested that Hawaii point call.
The original call is attack off the net and down low.
You see the officials, Mark Nakashima, the R1. Dixon Chun will be performing the reviews. You have Kevin Chun and Ryan Sakagawa as the two line judges. See if we can tell something here. It looks like it may have gone off Sakonoko, off the tape first, then Sakonoko, and then out.
Yep. I think the call's going to be reversed, and Hawaii will, and Tusculum will get the point.
Now, what makes this a bit more complicated from the official standpoint is, as we've mentioned before, they are utilizing some of the DV Sports technology. So you have some fixed cameras in the arena that the officials have access to, as well as our Spectrum Sports camera angles. But we're not exactly performing the reviews along with the officials like was done in the past.
All that stuff that Dixon Chun's having to do right now, referees are still getting used to, managing that whole system. There's 3 cameras in the arena that they use, and the Spectrum has 7. So if the 3 cameras do not, provide them with the right answer, then they can tap into Spectrum's 7 cameras.
There you see some of the fixed cameras, or at least one of them there from the corner angle. And yeah, so I think what we saw just a couple of nights ago, and this would likely be under any other circumstance, a very expeditious type of review. But I think you're seeing some of the officials just kind of getting used to the technology part and the system itself.
Looked to me like it was pretty obvious there that Sakonoko hit the ball after the ball hit the tape.
So now you have some of the Hawaii players like Louis Sakonoko kind of jogging in place, trying to keep loose.
By the way, I talked to him before the game. I said, is it Louis or is it Louis? And he says, good question. You can call me whatever you want. My mom calls me Louis. My dad calls me Louis. So take your pick.
He's a really good dude.
He is.
Showed up at semester. He's only been on campus a little longer than a month. But he comes up, he says hello each and every match. That seems to be his personality, according to assistant coach Kupono Fei. He's over there helping with some of the other staff members when they're carrying bags or gear and offers his assistance. And just one of those guys that seems to have a positive disposition at all times.
Absolutely. There's the touch call we predicted.
And so we're able to finally play on. Instead of 15-8, it goes to 9 serving 14.
Now, compared to the first set the other night, Kanoa, big improvement by Tusculum. And that first set the other night, they only got 11 points altogether in the entire set. Already, they've got 9. So competing much better.
Yeah, Declan Wingo, you mentioned the 11 kills on 26 attempts, hit 308. And to be able to do that against this Hawaii team, especially when they were focusing in on Wingo because he was obviously one of the more effective offensive players for Tusculum, that is no easy task. As you see now, further communication between Dixon Chun and the 2 head coaches. Maybe Dixon telling them, like, hey guys,
I'm technologically inefficient.
hey guys, can we just cut the challenges short here tonight? Because that was a lot of work over there.
Didn't they only have one challenge the other night, I think, all night long?
Louis Sakanoko explodes on that set. Call him Louis. Call him Louis. Maybe just call him Mr. Sakanoko. He gets the kill. Hawaii gets the 15 first. In the first. Welcome back. Let's go inside the numbers presented by Long's Drugs. 586. That's the season best hitting percentage for Hawaii on Friday versus Tusculum. We mentioned just 5 hitting errors the entire evening for 39 kills on 58 attempts. And in that first set the other night, they hit 647. In set 2, they hit 700. They are at 417 here in this first frame in the Hanaho rematch.
I think Charlie Wade was really impressed with and pleased with the efficiency of the offense the other night.
That middle set to Jaden Bramhall gets blocked back. Now Landry with the swing, diving save Thim. Here's the roll shot by Sakanoko. An easy save there for Taylor West from the back row. Wingo gets picked up by Rosenthal. So Thim, the side set, going to the pin for Sakanoko was a little off the mark, but you gotta love the chutzpah of trying to get it out there.
Oh man, I thought for sure he was going to set it the right side. Instead, he side set it all the way to the left. It was really a good set. There's the one-handed set by Rosenthal earlier in the rally. That was pretty impressive as well.
So 10 serving 15. Bramhall sends it wide. 6'4" sophomore from Tucson, Arizona in his second year with Tusculum.
By the way, any of the people who watched the keys to the game tonight, I said, help for Wingo, help for Wingo. He carried too much load the other night. Guess what's happening? Wingo, 3 kills. The rest of the team, 0.
Landry almost had one there, but a great save along the back line by Thim, and then Louis Sakanoko goes kaboom.
Wingo has marks on his arm right now, indentations on his arm. That ball was hit hard. There's the save from Thim to keep that rally alive. And here's a guy who can end any rally anytime he wants. Mr. Sakanoko.
17 serving 10. Quick middle set. Morgan Makovic gets blocked and roofed. G. Voss jumping up next to Tread Rosenthal saying, ole, timeout Pioneers. Hawaii up 8. They've scored the last 3 here in the first. Welcome back. Let's check out tonight's Hyundai head-to-head stat line. We're looking at the 2 top hitters currently on the floor. Declan Wingo, who has all 3 of Tusculum's kills in this first frame. 3 kills hitting 100. Alaka Itad, 4 kills hitting 800. No errors. He went error-free the other night. 13 kills on 17 swings. Hit 765. And then had a heck of a road trip to Indiana last week as well. Forces the overpass on that serve. Voss couldn't get it down. Good up there by De La Cruz, who sends a freebie back over and out.
You're talking about Alaka Todd, the kind of night he had the other night. He's had a couple of those errorless nights that have really been impressive. He's sort of locking down that opposite spot.
Largest lead here for Hawaii, it is 9. And giving Charlie Wade the opportunity and option to put Sakanoko on the left side. That one curls in and just pings up against the end line. 4th service ace of the evening for Hawaii, and the 2nd for Alaka Itad. 6'8". He likes to correct us and say he's 6'9". A senior from Kailua out of Punahou School. He brought the heat that time. Great pass, Landry. Back row, Wingo bounces it in front of Thim as he and Todd go tumbling like bowling pins on that one. Wingo still has every kill to speak of for the Pioneers.
That's a nice little big set out of the back row quick. Really effective. He continues to be the offense for Tusculum.
In its entirety, as De La Cruz serves it into the net. De La Cruz did not get the start the other night, but when he came in, provided some energy for the Pioneers. So Brian Buckius perhaps rewarding him for that effort here tonight with the start. But Now he heads to the bench as Arthur Delanina enters the match. Defensive specialist for the Pioneers. Here's Sakonoko to serve. What a serve it was.
He's so good at disguising how hard he's going to hit it. It looked like at the top of his jump and the top of his swing, he was going to rip it. Instead, he just pulled the trigger with that little off-speeder. Isn't it a lot like baseball? No, you call baseball and volleyball, isn't it? That off-speed shot a lot like a pitcher who throws the off-speed shot.
And then he brings the 100-mile-an-hour heater.
There you go.
Or at least what is akin to it. That was a smoke show, and back-to-back aces for Louis Sakonoko. And exactly, that change in speed, that change in variety, it makes it awfully hard on the defense.
They don't know whether to put their receivers in the back line for the heat or move them up for the soft shot.
23 serving 11, and that one almost curled in. You mentioned he struggled a little bit with his serves on the road, and a lot of that was because of the venues in which they were playing. They were smaller venues. This huge arena, very cavernous was the word we used the other night, allows him to employ that huge toss that he likes, as that's a service ace from Colby Landry, and that's his second ace. But on the road, in those venues, there were like banners that were hanging lower than what you would have here in this kind of arena setting, and he wasn't able to toss the ball as high, and it threw his timing off a bit.
Yeah, very definitely.
Good dig along the back line on the Todd swing by Landry. Here's Wingo, got it down again. So Declan Wingo with 5 kills, and that accounts for every put down by the Pioneers in this first set. I don't know if we've seen something like that too often before.
It's pretty amazing domination by Wingo, that's for sure. Good pass by Sakonoko.
And then Voss always knows what to do with it. G. Voss with his second kill, and Hawaii gets to 24. They lead by 10. It is Aloha ball here in set 1, and G. Voss putting a little more chili pepper water on these serves here in this opening frame tonight.
Let's see if he hits the jumper again.
Well, he tried to ramp it up a bit, but into the twine it goes. Remains Aloha ball.
Maybe he didn't like getting subbed out the other night for somebody else to serve for him. He wants to earn that spot.
Here's Makovic, the freshman from Virginia Beach. Two-hand pass there, Thim on the money. D-set to Todd. And another hammer by Alakai Todd, who has raised his game to another level here in recent weeks. Todd has 5 kills to lead Hawaii. They record 6 first set aces, and they take set 1 by 10. Welcome back. Time now for the Hawaii Honda Dealers highlight reel. Louis Sakonoko always seems to record some highlights, whether it be from the service line or as a pin hitter, or even getting in defensively on some blocks. He's got 2 kills, 3 aces, a block and a dig through that first set. Hawaii taking it 25-15.
So well-rounded, so fun to watch. And as you said earlier, just a great dude.
Hawaii as a team, they were piling up points from the service line. 6 total service aces. Sakonoko's 3 was the high, but Alakai Todd pitched in 2. And how about Alakai? 5 kills, no errors, 7 attempts. It was still January the last time Alakai Todd committed a hitting error.
Oh man, he's hitting .714. What a night he's having.
From Naperville, Illinois, for captain number 16.
I was talking to Sakonoko before the match, and I said, how are you enjoying Hawaii? You've been here a month. What's it like? He says, well, I really like that I can do my computer science major and volleyball. In France, I couldn't do that. I'm very happy here. I love my teammates. I love all the fans.
Yeah, he's enjoying this experience. You know it, right? Biding his time, certainly finding ways to contribute, was a guy who was very highly regarded in the practice gym, even if he wasn't seeing the bulk of the game time reps. So you know that he is soaking this opportunity in. An interesting move here. Charlie Wade looks like he might be giving his freshman setter, Tread Rosenthal, some rest here going forward. Kevin Calling is on the floor, the 6'7" grad transfer from Lewis. Played the other night as well. Might be his show. Gets to run sort of with the B team, if you will. Sans, Spiros Hakas, and Chaz Galloway. So maybe the A/B team here for Kevin Calling to work with.
Exactly. The main thing is he's going to set G. Voss and Nusterer for this set at least.
Here's the D set, De La Cruz. Diving save there by Choi. Here's Sakanoko unleashing, but he misses wide, trying to go hard angle. It is just a ferocious attack every time the set goes his way.
What a swing. He's not happy that he missed it, but I'm telling you, that was something to watch. Sharp angle inside that block. Just missed.
There's Colby Landry. A couple of service aces in that first set, and that one was awfully close, but was called out. I think that caught Landry by surprise. Landry, who prepped at Assumption High School in Napoleonville, Louisiana. That sounds familiar to some, and it would, because that is the same prep program attended by Kim Willoughby, one of the all-time greats to play for the Rainbow Wahine volleyball program. 2 serving 1. And that one got away from Louis a little bit.
Hawaii only served an 80% clip in that first set, and I'm sure Charlie Wade is not happy about that. Despite the 6 aces, he's not happy there were so many missed serves.
Pass by Thim. Calling goes back set to Todd, and he's denied by Wingo. Solo style.
What a great block by Wingo. He's a one-man wrecking crew. I love the set by Calling, though. He gave a one-on-one situation to Todd. Todd hit right into that block.
First hitting error in a while for Alakai Todd. Good dig there by Landry on the Thim hammer. The exchange on the second touch a little off. So Calling going back to Todd, and that time he corrects the course. Getting back to his hitting ways immediately. That's 6 kills for Todd.
You can tell how frustrated Alakai was that he had that error. I think he wanted to have another errorless night in hitting. And now he's got at least 1 error, but he's still hitting for an amazing percentage. Alakai hitting .556.
Not too bad. Outside, that's Wingo, dug up along the back line by Sakanoko, who falls to his wallet. Now Thim up on springs. Oh, he rocketed up towards that ball and then pounded it off of the block and out.
He's the one who brings the trampoline with him to the front left when he goes and plays that. It's unfair how high he jumps. 5'10". He plays like he's 6'6", I swear.
He's got some boosters, no doubt. Tusculum led briefly 3-2. That was their first lead of the match. As Mr. able to get a piece of that Bramhall touch. And then Wingo going down the line and getting another kill. So how about this? Declan Wingo, you talk about a one-man wrecking crew. You mentioned it, C-Mac. He's got now 6 kills. That accounts for all of the kills for Tusculum in this match. He has 1 block, the only block for the Pioneers in this match.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the serve by Tristan Blake.
Do you think I gave him the broadcaster's jinx when I said the keys to the game? Help Wingo. Now he's not getting any help.
It doesn't make it untrue. That was a key to the match. Here's Kevin Calling. 4-year starting setter at Lewis before transferring to Hawaii. Backside, here's Wingo off the block and out, and he is in his bag right now, hitting up around 300 with 7 kills and doing it virtually by himself here this evening.
He does it lots of ways, too. If he's got a hole in the block, he'll hit that. If he just needs to hammer it off the block like he did just then, he'll do that. He'll chisel it off the sides. He's got all the shots.
Alas, he sends it long. That is the 8th service error for the Pioneers compared to 2 aces. But back and forth we go here in set 2. And Thim, though, getting ready to lay into it. Out of Kalani High School. Got to Hawaii by way of Santa Barbara Community College. And that was filthy. Had some movement. Curled towards the near sideline. And it is another ace for Keone Thim. Hawaii now with 7 aces total. They lead by 2 in set 2. Welcome back. We have a mega matchup next week. 4th-ranked Stanford, 3rd-ranked Hawaii, due to battle Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday's match, our coverage begins at 6:30 on Spectrum Sports. Elsewhere in the Mānoa Athletics Department, Rainbow Wahine Water Polo with another victory over #1 team. They beat #1 Stanford earlier in the year and now taking down #1 USC 10-6.
That's huge. Huge.
That was the 3rd place match of the Triton Invitational. As we rejoin live action, Thim faking as though he was going to take a crack at it, sets up his buddy Sakanoko, and he goes off the block and out. We saw that the other night from Thim as well. He actually took the leap and then mid-air changed his mind and set up Louis on the left. That's a new wrinkle, I guess, here in this transition game.
I like it. By the way, men's volleyball is crazy this year, Kanoa, and this week is a really, really good week for men's volleyball. Number 3 and 4 are playing each other. That's Stanford and Hawaii. And numbers 1 and 2, Long Beach and UCLA. UCLA 2 now or no? Maybe it's 1 and 5.
UCLA is down to 5.
Okay, 1 and 5 are playing each other. So 4 of the top 5 playing each other. It's going to be a pretty good week in men's volleyball.
Great layout there by calling to keep the sequence alive. But that ends up a point for Tusculum. 6 serving 8, and that's an out serve. It goes right back to Hawaii. And Stanford losing last night for the first time to CSUN. Stanford did sit a couple of their top players. Not sure if that is due to a load management approach, a la what we are seeing from Charlie Wade here this week, or if they're a little more banged up than that. But you know, John Costi's crew is coming down here intent on trying to get a couple of wins here. It's going to be high-level volleyball here in Mānoa. Calling bump set Todd to change the course of his approach there. Now De La Cruz, the quick spring. Did he get a touch? No touch. Hits it out, and Hawaii gets the point. But we've seen some upsets throughout the men's volleyball landscape as well.
Some crazy ones, too.
Yeah, Penn State losing to Purdue Fort Wayne.
Penn State beating #1 Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, and that obviously not of the same kind of resonation, but still also pretty eye-opening.
Santa Barbara beating UCLA and then losing to Damon.
Yeah, losing to Damon.
Ooh, what a swing.
Wow, that was some hard lumber there by Landry. And so the first kill by someone not wearing #4 for the Pioneers cuts the deficit down to 3.
That was a great swing by Colby Landry. He gets some major heat. Nice angle, good wrist away shot.
Here's Voss. Got under it a bit. Was there a touch? They're going to say there was a touch. The R1, Mark Nakashima, on top of the ladder, was the one who saw that and made the call. And so when we talk about some of these upsets, is that a random occurrence here just through some of the non-league, non-conference matchups? Or are we seeing perhaps the germination of a little bit more parity throughout men's volleyball?
I would agree, especially with that there's more parity. And the reason I agree is that I think there's just more with the portal situation now. Players go one place, and if they're not playing, they can go someplace else, and that automatically starts evening things out when good players move to other programs just for the sake of playing time.
Here's Voss. Caught it in the sweet spot and found that deep corner. 4 kills now for G. Voss. It's 12 serving 8 here in set 2.
Now serving Louis Sacaloco.
I think G. Voss is happy he's got 2 tall setters. Not that he didn't like short setters, but there's just so much less travel time for the ball to reach the setter's hands to his hand.
Sacaloco making sure he got that one in, and for good reason. His block up front was able to do the job. Morgan Makovic tried to get by G. Voss, but nothing doing.
G. Voss does such a great job of pressing over the net. He's so disciplined, great vision. James Anastasiadis and kind of just spoke glowingly about playing with him and admiring his coach and his blocking skills all these years.
Wingo dug up, tight to the net. One hand set by Calling. And then Keone Thim buries it. That was pretty.
These Rainbow Warriors know how to put on a show, don't they? The one-handed set right there, takes a blocker up with him. Then Keone Thim, as only he can do, leaping high.
So 14 serving 8. What a set there by Calling. And again, Sacaloco just getting it in here, allowing his defense to play some volleyball. Meanwhile, De La Cruz a little off target here in this match with another hitting error. Hawaii has scored 4 straight. They get to 15 first. Volleyball hosting Stanford for a pair of matches. You also have the Rainbow Warrior basketball team back in town. It's UC San Diego coming into the building on Thursday. We will have that game for you here on Spectrum Sports with our coverage beginning at 6:30. Hawaii coming off of a lopsided loss on the road against UC Irvine last night. Still sitting at 4 wins in conference play. And a couple of tough teams coming into town with UCSD and UC Davis here this week. See, Tiago da Silva has entered the match here for Tusculum. Another setter on the roster. Sacaloco to serve. Oh boy. He lit that one up and gets the ace. Ace number 4 here for Louis.
He is something special, isn't he? He's starting to create his own fan base now.
5 straight points for Hawaii, as you see Noah Svensson, 6'4" sophomore from Harrison, Tennessee, in the match. That serve goes into the net.
Draws a smile from G. Voss because it almost hit him on the dome as it did the other night.
Even Charlie Wade laughing a little bit. Here's Donovan Nye, 6'3" freshman from Winder, Georgia. Turned 19 last month. We mentioned the other night. Used to be a gymnast. Now focusing on volleyball. D-set goes to Alaka'i Todd. And he sends it right down Kalakaua Avenue.
Picks up kill number 7 on the night.
I liked that sign. We just caught a few moments of it. I'm not sure if everyone was able to read it, but Mai Ka'i Alaka'i. I like that.
Ah, that is a good one.
Here's Kai Taylor playing in his 8th set of the season. Oh, he unleashed. And this Hawaii team continuing to rack up the points from the service line. That's now 9 in the evening. Kai Taylor coming in and providing some heavy artillery. Hawaii has the Pioneers doubled up in the second. Welcome back. So for the second straight match, the service ace game for Hawaii, a huge storyline. They had 11 total in the first match with Tusculum on Friday, and they have now put together 9 so far. We're still in set 2, C-Mac.
I'm really putting on a show, for sure.
Kai Taylor almost got another one there, and then Wingo off of 1 foot. There was nowhere to go. Got eclipsed by Neusterer. Jumping up next to Calling. And another little run here for Hawaii. They've scored 3 in a row. Hawaii hitting .308 in this second set. Tusculum now negative .071. Good pass that time by Taylor West, and then the block is up. Noosterer sending it back against Jaden Bramhall.
Noosterer said that this is something he really wants to work on. Reading better, reaching over better. He certainly did both of those things and that block.
Taylor tried to give it a little extra on that one, but good run at the service line for Kai Taylor, and you know that Charlie Wade's going to take note there, especially with some important matches coming up next week. He's going to want some reliable serving specialists to turn to, and you'd imagine that he'll make a mental note there. A good little run by Kai Taylor.
Absolutely. That's what Kelly Finn did the last couple of years, and now maybe Kai Taylor will be taking on that job.
Kurt Noosterer. Checkmate, perhaps?
I was going to say, you just stole the words right out of my mouth. This is the guy who warms up, not with volleyballs, but with chess pieces before the match. And that was a checkmate-like move.
What a serve by Calling. Barely making the pass was Landry, but a free opportunity here for Hawaii. Calling, surveying the floor, going backside to Todd, who just dunks it down over the net. And Hawaii now up by a dozen. Yeah, we mentioned Kurt Noosterer. He is a chess aficionado, one of several on the team, but earlier this evening was courtside playing against his fellow middle hitter, Alex Parks. And Noosterer, we are told, got the win. Outside, here is Wingo. That rattled off the fingers of the block. Back row is Sakanoko. Dug up, but out of bounds by Taylor West.
And by the way, when Kapuno Faye found out about the Noosterer win, he said, he hasn't played me yet tonight. There's Kapuno. He is the chess master. He has a chess board in his office. If you want to come in and visit Kapuno, you better know how to play chess.
He was very confident. Back row settles to Landry. Soft touches it over. So Calling goes outside. Thim had the quick jump at that time. And then put over on two by the setter, Thiago Da Silva.
Only the third player to get a kill against this Rainbow defense.
And he's a setter.
And he whiffed it. Da Silva, his dad played pro beach volleyball and indoor in Brazil. And Thiago's claim to fame is that he's met LeBron James.
I wish. Da Silva himself played soccer most of his life, now focusing obviously on volleyball. Good pass that time by Sakanoko. Here's Thim. Just going up the elevator shaft, making it look easy and dynamic at the same time. Aloha ball here in the second for Hawaii, and it will be Keone Thim looking to do the honors here.
And credit to the passer there. I think it was Sakanoko who passed it up perfectly, and then Calling, giving his hitter a one-on-one situation.
Oh, that was some thunder. Even though it got slowed by the net, it was still almost too quick to see. Keone Thim with the ace. Hawaii now with 10 aces as a squad, and they take set two running away. 25-11, and they'll have a chance to crack open the broom closet tonight.
University of Hawaii Sports on Spectrum Sports, sponsored by your Hawaii.
Take a look at the serving of the Rainbow Warriors through the first two sets here against Tusculum, and it has been nothing short of amazing. The Rainbow Warriors with 10 service aces in the first two frames, 4 of them by that guy right there, Louis Sakanoko. 10 service aces and only 9 service errors. Hi everybody, it's intermission. Hawaii up 2-0 against Tusculum. Scott, James, and Kanai, and another Pretty good performance by the Rainbow Warriors so far.
Hawaii's playing very clean, and I think a big standout for me is Sakanoko. He's getting a lot more comfortable there on that left side. His true position, playing outside hitter. We're seeing a lot from him. He's hitting those sharp angles, but again, something that I think all Hawaii fans are a little familiar with is his serving. He's a lot more consistent with his serving tonight, but he's doing an incredible job blocking, hitting, and serving.
Absolutely. I mean, so Hawaii's playing great, right? They're playing how they always do, but something I want to see more is that Bic, right? I love watching that Bic, right? And they got the high flyers to do it. And it's just something that just electrifies the crowd. And if you can really get that Bic going as part of your offense, that will solidify Hawaii as a top 4 team in the nation.
The blocking game, Hawaii with 5.5 blocks at this point, still under the over-under that we set in the pregame game-on segment of 3.25.
Yeah, Hawaii's doing a very good job. I think they're a little bit too high for this Tusculum team. They're really reaching for a couple of balls. They've got tooled a couple of times, not playing that clean blocking over the net that we were talking about in the pregame show. But again, I got trust in my bet. They could go for 5 blocks in this set.
We'll see. Alakai Tom continues to be just so consistent. He's got 8 kills. Probably won't see him in the third set, though.
Probably not. And like you said, he's just so consistent, as James says, so steady Eddie, right? I mean, he makes it look so easy that you just look up, gets a kill, you're kind of just like, whatever. And then you look at the stat sheet, right? And he has 8 kills, hitting 460, and you're just, it's amazing. I mean, he makes it look really easy. It's really good to see him finally implement his game on the court in his 6th year.
And throwing a couple of service aces for Alakai as well. All right, we'll take a break when we come back. Oh, not yet, I guess. Okay, let's make adjustments. What do you expect to see in the next set?
I think the only adjustment Hawaii's going to have is maybe throw a little bit more of the bench in there. Like I said on Friday night, it'd be awesome to see Cole Otmar come in. I would love to see Kai Taylor play a little bit on the outside. We've seen the whip from the service line. I would love to see if he could come in and hit in the front row as well.
For me, I would like to see the Tusculum side adjust to a 6-2, right? Right now they're running a 5-1 where the setter goes all 6 rotations, and so does the opposite, right? That really limits their offense once that opposite comes into the back row. Against this Hawaii team, you're going to need all 3 options hitting in the front row. I would switch to a 6-2, so we'll see what they're going to do.
All right, Hawaii rolling on a Sunday in Mānoa. We'll take a break, come back and have more. It's intermission. Hawaii leads 2-0.
Percentage, Hawaii hitting 472, a huge number, and Tusculum hitting only 0. And the other stat would be the service aces and errors. Hawaii 10 service aces. Once again, as you said earlier, that's kind of the storyline tonight. They're really just ripping it from behind the service line.
And again, no real surprise on paper. That's more or less what you would expect to see in a matchup like this. And Charlie Wade has pushed these kinds of matchups with the idea of trying to further grow the game of men's volleyball through just some of the exposure that comes from playing in these kinds of games. But what other benefits do you see for this Rainbow Warrior team in a week where they're able to rest a couple of their key guys? Where do you see the value here in a 2-match series with the Tusculum Pioneers?
Definitely value in developing the bench. When you got a squad of 19 players, it's hard to keep them all happy, but when you get a match like this, you can get guys like Alex Parks in and give this freshman some reward for all the hard work he's been doing in practice. And of course, Calling, get a chance to get Kevin Calling back in. He was scheduled to play, and then he got his ankle injury. And O's gets a chance to play, and it's just a wonderful time to reward the other players who've been working so hard in practice.
Olsan Ols from Bursa, Turkey, transfer from the University of Jamestown in North Dakota, where he was an NAIA All-American honorable mention in his lone season there. Had 2 kills, 3 digs, and a block on Friday playing in set 3. So Parks will get us started here in the third. And here is Wingo, and he goes back to work. Wingo with 8 kills, by far the top hitter for Tusculum. Nobody else has more than 1 kill on the Pioneers side. He also has the lone block for Tusculum in this match.
He's hitting for a decent percentage at 250, 260.
Back row, it's Thim, as if he rappelled down from the rafters.
I've been impressed with Louis Sakanoko's passing. He's been pretty right on the money pretty much every time. He looks like they're trying to pick on him a little bit, thinking that maybe he's a vulnerable passer, but he's answered the call pretty much every time.
That's one of the areas where you're not going to see as much of a disparity from the service line. Tusculum, despite perhaps being outmatched in some other areas of the game against a team like Hawaii, from the service line, they got some guys that can ramp up the MPHs a little bit and some guys that can place it where they want to.
Exactly. And, the other thing that Tusculum does well, according to Coach Buckius, is that he likes their serving in general.
The correct server should have been number 10. Next server will be number 4.
So we had a serving rotation error. Tusculum was out of order that time. And so no harm really done there because Hawaii got the point anyway. But it will be Ulsan Ols to serve here, serving one in set 3.
Is it just me or does Brian Buckius look more tan tonight?
Tanned or maybe a little more, maybe a little more
lobster-like?
Yeah, a little more burnt. Free chance here for Hawaii, calling, going outside. Sakanoko is roofed. Jaden Bramhall able to get most of that.
Bramhall got out there in a hurry, reached over and reached high, pressed over that net. That was it. He was a setter last year. Now this guy's middle blocking. Great move by Jaden Bramhall.
Dad used to live in Hawaii. He is a biology major, plans to attend medical school after graduation. Chasing that second touchdown was Calling. Puts it up pretty well for Sakanoko, who gets the kill. Heck of a play there by the very experienced Kevin Calling.
He got his track shoes on that time to chase down that pass. And the great finish there was that the set wasn't the kind you want to go up and take a good rip at. Instead, it's just a controlled swing by Sakanoko, and it ended up being a kill.
It was a pretty controlled serve by Sakanoko, and then De La Cruz is blocked, but a great job keeping it alive. Calling, backside is Ols, and he pumps it long. No touch up front, and so Tusculum in front here early on in set 3.
Oh, I loved it. The cover that time by Jabez De La Cruz, the guy they call Bambi. He got down low and popped up that ball to keep that rally alive.
So the Pioneers here, they held a lead briefly at this exact same score in set 2. Finn hammers it off of the hands of De La Cruz and out. Keone Finn, I don't know if he's got a little extra bounce in his jumps tonight, but he is getting up there.
His grandmother, Kool-Aid, is in the audience. She's not always here, and so I think he's maybe playing a little extra hard. He told us Friday night, hey, guess what? My grandma's here. Can you get her? She'll be sitting right up there.
Yeah, we tried to locate her, actually. Didn't have any luck. Injury off the block, up there by Mooster. Here's Thim. On springs. He was in another stratosphere.
Calling did a great job of intercepting that ball before it went over the net. And gave a nice set to Keone Thim, who went around Jabez. 2 5-10ers going up against each other.
So Keone Thim now 8 kills. That matches Alakai Todd for the top hitter for Hawaii. 12 attempts, just 1 error. He's hitting .583. And he's filled up the stat sheet pretty well. 3 blocks, 3 digs, 2 aces, and an assist. And there's another block for the Rainbow Warriors. Mānoa Roofing Company putting on the hard hats there. That time the combo was Calling and Parks saying
Both hands over, pressing over the net. Kevin Calling, an experienced 3-time All-American from Lewis. Hawaii really lucky to have him. Charlie said, we really hit the lottery, didn't we? We got these 2 great setters and Fred Rosenthal and Kevin Calling. Another
block again. Alex Parks just smothering some of these shots, but a great job by Tusculum to scramble and return it. Here's Thim, that will not be returned. Ends up in the seats. What he busting out here.
He hit that so hard. It ended up like in the 4th row of the seats. Very few people do that. The ball shakers rarely have to go into the audience to grab a ball. But with Keone Thim and Sakanoko, another story.
Yeah, the depth is on display here this week. You just see Charlie Wade in some areas, some positions, almost an embarrassment of riches.
Yeah.
Mr. Great serve, overpass, calling. Simply places it down. Hawaii has scored 5 in a row. It's 7-3 here in the 3rd, and that forces a Brian Buckius timeout. The surge by Hawaii. Welcome back, Kevin Calling. We talked about all the experience playing at such a high level for Lewis, and has gotten some good run here this week. And playing the last 2 sets of this match in place of starter Tread Rosenthal. And you got to give him credit, C-Mac, right? I mean, he was probably expecting a little more upon his transfer here to Hawaii as far as the opportunity to start, but Tread Rosenthal coming in, this freshman phenom, and yet, according to the coaching staff, Kevin Calling has remained focused and is as good a teammate as you could ask for.
Yeah, all that is true. Charlie's really feeling lucky that he's got a guy like Kevin on the roster, for sure.
Landry by the double block. There's Neuster. Just give him the libero jersey already. Here's Thim timing it. And it is going to be a net violation against Tusculum, so give Thim the kill. He has already, with his last put down, set a new career high for a single match. With 9, that is his 10th kill. So Keone with a career night here. 14 swings, 1 error, hitting .643.
If you get 300 out of an outside hitter, it's a pretty good night. .643, astronomical.
Neuster doing a good job here at the service line. And the block is up. Great job by Alex Parks up front. How about the 2 middles and how they've influenced this now 7-point run for the Rainbows?
Neuster doing a great job of serving and serving hard. Parks been in on a couple of the blocks. You know Parks, by the way, is an Eagle scout. He's hard to get that.
He's a pretty sharp guy from what we understand.
That's a really tough thing to get in the scouting arena.
Also competed in football and swimming in high school. Well, things going swimmingly right now for Kurt Neuster at the service line. Another ace. That is the 11th of the match for Hawaii. That matches their ace output from 2 nights ago. And another timeout by Tusculum. The Rainbow Warriors running away in the 3rd. We'll talk about a guy making the most of an opportunity, Keone Thim, with a career night here, C-Mac.
Going to be happy for him. He's worked so hard. Didn't come from a real powerful high school program, but he's made the most of just an amazing work ethic to get to be a better volleyball player these last 3 years. And this is his shining night tonight for sure. Happy for him.
10 kills. Best output in his career, and that's going to be a service ace as it went off of the big screen above. If it were to have bounced back on the Tusculum side, per the rules of the arena, they can continue to play. If it goes over to the opposite side of the net, that is a dead ball. Keone Thim putting on this show in front of 3,357 through the turnstiles. We announced attendance here this evening. Here's Adam Svensson. Did us the favor of modeling the new specialty jerseys for the Pioneers prior to the match. Kurt Neuster been serving over the course of this now 10-point Rainbow Warrior run, and it's another ace, and that is 12. No, make that 13 aces for Hawaii in this match. That's 1 off of the season high. They had 14 against Emmanuel earlier in the year.
Do you know what the Rainbow record is? I don't think what it is. I think it's around 15.
Confident serves there by Nooster. That one hit the big screen but stayed on the Tusculum side, so they played through. Here's Thim going OTT for his 11th kill.
Great set from Nooster and a little bit of a split block, but the split didn't make any difference as much as the height of the block. You gotta go up higher if you're gonna block Thim. He gets up.
Nooster locked in from the service line. As that swing by Adam Svensson goes wide, no touch up front. That's now 12 in a row scored by Hawaii, and doing it with Kurt Nooster behind the service line.
That was clearly an avoidance swing. The block was well set up, and Svensson just tried to avoid hitting it. That's that wrist away, went too far away and out of bounds.
And another ace. Kurt Nooster with his 4th ace in this match. That's now 14 for Hawaii. That matches a season high. You were asking for the team record. Was 20 aces against Long Island in 2020. Welcome back. Well, Stanford coming to town for 2 matches, Wednesday and Friday. Just to give you a heads up, the Friday match, just like the Wednesday match, will start at 6:30 p.m. on Spectrum Sports. At least our coverage will start. First serve will be just after 7. 15 serving 3. Kurt Nooster has set a career high with 4 service aces. Almost got a 5th there as it trickled over the net, but then the block is up as Keone Thim, jumping up next to Alex Parks, keeps this run going. That's now 14 points in a row for Hawaii, and they lead 16-3 here in the 3rd.
It is so, you have no idea how hard it is to get a run this long. You get 4-point runs, you're happy sometimes. Men's volleyball, you need to slide out the rest of the way, you win a match.
Well, you got to get these serves in too, and Nooster is doing it at an unreal rate.
This is amazing.
5 aces for Nooster.
This is crazy. Do you think it was his chest warm-up that did it? Who knows?
The chess victory certainly has propelled him seemingly here.
Absolutely. He's got all kinds of adrenaline flowing through.
He's even shaking his head. He's even in disbelief at his own effectiveness. 17 serving 3. Stay hot, kid. Right side, it's Svensson. And that's a Hawaii point as it is blocked by the Rainbow Warrior front. Well, tough 3rd set here for the Pioneers, to say the least. They're hitting negative 364. They have 1 kill. Hawaii has scored 16 points in a row. And Nooster now doing it with a smile on his face. Another ace! This is unbelievable!
This is by a middle blocker, no less. Normally, the acers are the wing hitters, or maybe even a setter, like Yakatella, but not a middle blocker. They usually get subbed out for a serving specialist. This is really unusual.
Kurt Nooster is having an out-of-body experience right now. And it's still going. Forces a pass tight to the net. Keone Thim gets the swing and gets the kill. The run continues. And the crowd is really feeling this.
And unfortunately, Tusculum has already used up their 2 timeouts. There's been a media timeout, so there's no slowing down this guy as far as timeouts are concerned.
Even his teammates are turning towards him to cheer him on. And it goes just long. But what a ride in this 3rd set. Kurt Nooster hearing it from the fans.
And Charlie Wade is going to leave him in, leaving Larry Choi on the bench, and he's going to let Nooster play some back row right now as a thank you, I think.
Checkmate indeed. As you see Philip Umler, Kurt's former teammate, still with some excellent seats here for the match. Also drinking it in. Keone Fim just continues to fire away. 13 kills, a career high for Keone in kills. Career high 6 aces for Kurt Noosterer. And Hawaii is looking to put an exclamation point on this performance tonight.
And I think a career high 18-point run is probably a record as well.
One more.
Back row, it's Wingo. That may have been a little frustration and angst that was let out there by Declan Wingo, who has been a significant bright spot for the Pioneers here in these 2 matches. Now 9 kills, hitting .286 in this one.
And Kurt Nooster now playing libero for Leo Choi. How about that?
5 serving 21. And it's Nooster with the first touch, and it's a beauty. Backside, Thim! It's all good right now on the Hawaii side. This has become a showcase.
This is amazing.
And Keone Fim, who had retreated back to serve, will be subbed out, and you know he's going to hear it.
He's getting a well-deserved ovation.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Cole Otmar in to serve. 22 serving 5. A third set that featured an 18-point Rainbow Warrior run, with Kurt Noosterer doing the honors at the service line the entire time. Wingo over the block, and nobody home there along that back line for Hawaii.
And I think Otmar will not be a serving specialist for Keone Fim. I think he's going to for Fim, and he's going to finish the match.
6'5", redshirt sophomore from Spangle, Washington, playing in his 4th set of the season.
He can play. He's got game, I'm telling you.
Yeah, in his 3rd year with the program. Here's Sakanoko. Choosing silence. We had a conversation prior to the match with Kupono Fe, as well as some others. Who else can you think of in a Hawaii uniform that hits the ball as hard as Louis Sakanoko does? If you can think of any, it's a very short list, if at all.
Kupono couldn't think of it. We stumped him. He couldn't think of anybody.
The subs here on the Pioneer side. Sakanoko to the bench. And here's Alex Parks to serve. 23 serving 6. And there's Nooster almost getting the block there on Nick Hale. Roll shot, diving save calling. Second touch, Oles. And Otmar sends it over. Advantage Pioneers. Outside. And that one looked like it hit the pin. And yes, it did. Shane O'Neill just into the match. Unable to take advantage of that opportunity, but they will rise here at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Aloha ball for the match. Backside. That one hit through the block, and then will prolong things for at least another play as Noah Svensson gets the kill and then shows the crowd a little flex. And Tristan Blake will serve. Still Aloha ball, 7 serving 24. Bump set, here's Oles, 3 blockers up, roll shot, works, and that's how it ends. Hawaii takes it. Ekahi Elua, Aloha to improve to 8-1 on the season. In what was a fantastic display in that 3rd frame, where Kurt Noosterer was in the service zone, authoring what was an 18-point run for the Rainbow Warriors. A career-high 6 aces, and then you had Keone Phim, who hit 722 for the match. 25, 15, 11, and 7, the final arithmetic. Let's take a look at the Bank of Hawaii players of the match. Declan Wingo, and what can you say about this guy? Hit over 300 in both matches against this Hawaii team. 10 kills, 318, 2 blocks here tonight. And Kurt Neuster getting the nod. 6 aces, 2 blocks, 2 digs, and was part of something that I don't think many of us have seen too often in our lifetimes. An 18-0 scoring run. Got to give an honorable mention at the very least to Keone Phim. 14 kills, a career high, hitting 722. He also had an assist, 2 aces, 3 digs, and 4 blocks.
And it should have been co-players of the game there for Hawaii. Those two guys were the story of the night, for sure.
Hawaii hit 733 in that third frame, and so now the stage is set. Hawaii gets a couple of sweep victories. They rest a couple of their would-be starting hitters, and they now gear up for a showdown with the current number 4 team in the country for a pair of matches next week, Wednesday and Friday. Stanford coming to town. Let's send it over to Scott Robbs. He's with Charlie Way.
Coach, congratulations. I got to ask you, you've watched a lot of volleyball over the years. Can you remember in a Division I match, a guy serving 18 straight points?
That was a lot, especially a middle.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, he's worked hard on it, and he's actually got a going in tonight, a pretty good percentage, 90+%. So not surprised, and good to see all that hard work paying off.
Yeah, not just him, but the team in general. The service game was really clicking tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Louis still a little neurotic back there, but there's so much talent. He's figuring it out. You can tell he's trying to manage it a little more and picking the spots we can go ahead and ramp it up. But it's something that we've worked a lot on for a long time, and you're seeing the benefit of it.
No Chaz, no Spittles this weekend, but you had Louis and you had Keone. I can't imagine a better backup combo than those two in the country.
Well, it's important to get those guys some rest, a little dinged up. Obviously, got a big week coming up and a quick turnaround on Wednesday, and those guys needed to log some hours. They needed to get out there, regardless of what was going on the other side of the net. They needed to get out and play in this building, and I thought they did a really good job, and it really bodes well for us going forward the rest of the year.
Competition obviously gets ramped up starting on Wednesday. The Stanford Cardinal, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good. I mean, clearly one of the best teams in the country. It'll be high-level stuff all weekend. Yeah, come on out. Check it out.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks. Aloha.
Kanoa.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Yeah, again, that'll be Wednesday and Friday night. Buckle up. It is going to be a showdown of two of the top programs in the land. A season high, 16 aces total for this Hawaii team, improving to 8-1 on the year. C-Mac, I'll give you the last thought.
Oh, this team is just really fun to watch. They're so entertaining. They're powerful. They're dynamic. They're athletic. Folks, if you haven't seen them play yet, Wednesday be a good night to come out and watch them play because they're fun. And Stanford's a good team. Each team with only 1 loss so far. Number 3 versus number 4. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, and we only have to wait a couple of off days, and then we're there. Don't forget about the post-game show. Corner Crew will break down what was a fun one, certainly in that third frame. We saw some stuff we had not seen before here from this Hawaii team. But for now, for C-Mac, Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Until next time, everybody, we bid you aloha from Mānoa.
Night 2, Hawaii Tusculum. We take a look at the Pioneers' Declan Wingo, who had a good weekend here in Honolulu. He led the way for Tusculum with 10 kills on the night. He also hit 318. He was a bright spot. Talking about bright spots, Louis Sakanoko getting the nod on the left side once again. Does his damage from the service line. 4 service aces. Does his damage from the outside right there, as that's one of the 6 kills for Louis, who hit 444. And Keone Phim had a record-setting night, a personal record, 14 kills, career high for the Kalani High graduate. He hit 722. That's usually the nomenclature of an airplane. 14 kills, 722, a couple of service aces, and 5 digs for Keone. But the story tonight was the University of Hawaii's serving. 16 service aces, a season high, only 10 service errors. Kurt Nooster, who served 18 straight points in the third, had 6 as Hawaii made it a clean sweep.
From Spectrum Sports, it's the Hawaii Honda Dealers post-game show.
Time now to take a look at the final numbers. It's sponsored by Steve's Plumbing, and like it was on Friday here tonight, very one-sided in favor of Hawaii. UH hitting 549 on the evening. Tusculum, actually, their hitting percentage went down from a couple of evenings ago. They hit negative. They had more errors than they had kills on the night. Hawaii more than doubles up the digs category, and then the serve-receive game, which is always such a vital part of success. Hawaii with those 16 kills, or 16 aces, and only 10 service errors. Scott, James, and Kana'i, and guys, Hawaii looked good again tonight, but I think you expected that against this type of competition.
Absolutely. I mean, we expect Hawaii to win coming into it, right? But the real question is, how will they win, right? Will it be a clean, efficient win with, very wide margins in terms of the score, or is it going to be close? And Hawaii really showcased their ability, showed why they're so much better than this Tusculum team, who really isn't that bad, but Hawaii just on another level.
Hawaii's just really found their rhythm. They've been playing very clean ever since the road trip to Indiana. They come back and they showcase in front of the fans at home what they're capable of doing. And again, we got to see a lot of people come off the bench, but no drop off in the play and the talent that we have. You mentioned it after the post-game show and after the game that Hawaii has two of the best outside hitters coming off of the bench. Keone Tim and Sakanoku did an incredible job coming off, and they performed at a very high and efficient level.
And that experience is invaluable, right? Because from now on, they do play Missouri S&T in a couple of weeks, but the competition is going to be ramped up. They're going to be playing a lot of top 5, top 10 teams, and if for some reason Chaz or Spittles has an off night, you feel very confident going to Louis or Keone.
Totally. I mean, tonight proved that Louis and Keone could be starting on anyone outside of maybe the top 3 teams in the nation, right? They're really great players, dynamic, electric, from the service line, attacking, right? They really do it all. So to have such a deep bench, that's really great for the starters as well, right? Because then in the practice gym, they're going against high-level competition day in and day out.
James, I've got some bad news for you. For those of you that watch Game On presented by Bank of Hawaii, and if you don't, shame on you. You really should. We set the over-under at 3.25 blocks per set here tonight. James took a risk. He took the over. Kana'i took the under, and it turned out to be 8.5.
If Tusculum did not cover so well, I would have won that.
It came out to 2.67, which is not
Tusculum had 3 incredible covers, one off of a foot. I would have had that, but kudos to Kurt Nooster. He did not make my blocking numbers easy at all. Going back and having an 18-point service run is incredible. Added 6 aces in that run alone. It becomes very hard for the other team to swing out a ball, let alone Hawaii get any kind of blocks. So yeah, I took the hit, but they could have had it.
Let me ask you though, to serve 18 straight points is just mind-boggling. Have you ever been in, maybe not that kind of a run, but something where you're in that kind of a zone and everything's just working?
Yeah, he was clearly flowing tonight. I mean, personally, I had a 15 service run against Long Island a couple years ago, but it's like, it's 1 in a million, right? You really got to hit that flow state where you're not concentrating on anything, real clear mind, just going through your routine, and to hit 18 in a row, I mean, that's crazy.
And not
I don't know what else to say. That's
not
crazy.
A fluff 18. He was cranking the ball. And I think the really hard thing was, I wish people could have seen what the fans were like during that moment. His last 10 serves, he was getting a standing ovation after every single serve. He was going back there, he was giggling, he was smiling. It's really hard to focus sometimes, but he did such a good job of taking a deep breath before he went in his toss and managed to get one of the best serving runs I've ever seen.
It was spectacular. Let's talk about the setting. Of course, Tread Rosenthal, the freshman, is the starting setter. His backup last year was a second-team All-American at Lewis, Kevin Cowling. He got the most playing time we've seen, at least here at home this season, and there wasn't much of a drop-off, if any.
Not at all. I mean, I was really impressed watching Kevin set the ball. It's coming off real clean. He moves his feet to the ball really well. And I think the thing that separates him the most is how hard of a worker he is and the type of leader that he is, right? His teammates rave about his leadership and him just being in the gym 24/7, putting in the extra reps. And that's why he's in the position where he's at today.
He was super dynamic, and what I loved about watching Kevin's game is he was very good at bettering the ball. There was a couple of overpasses where he was still able to cleanly get to the ball and get incredible sets to the outsides, if not to the middle. We saw him set with one hand. He has a very calm perspective of him. So
it's all Hawaii here once again on this Sunday evening as UH wins in 3. We'll take a break. We come back. We're going to have one of the Rainbow Warriors, but a reminder, coming up, it is Beeman's Big Bash. If you missed it last night, Hawaii now in first place in the Big West Conference in women's basketball. I want everybody to come out as Hawaii hosts UC Santa Barbara on Saturday, February 17th at 7 o'clock right here at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. It should be fun. Look at the ticket prices. Very, very cheap. Come on out. Support. Hawaii upends Tusculum in 3 tonight, and parts of this great one-handed set by Kevin Cowling to the outside and terminated by Keone Thim. And Kevin joins us now here in the corner. First off, congratulations on the win.
Thank you, thank you.
How's the foot? Because our introduction to you came in the very first match against Loyola Chicago, where you injured your ankle in warm-ups and poof, you were gone. How's the foot?
I mean, can't complain, right? It's been a month now, and we're back. So that's the best case scenario. I really assumed when it happened, I broke my ankle, right? Yeah, I heard a snap right away, and I was thinking, all right, well, that's got to be 3 months. That's got to be something really bad, right? So I'm glad I'm already back out here. Touched a little bit of the court last week against Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Ball State. Just getting back, it feels great. Being in the gym again. Can't complain, already playing. It's awesome.
You were an All-American at Lewis.
Yeah.
You come to Hawaii. Tonight was, I think, the most action we've seen you at least get on the court. Tell us about what it felt like being out there here this evening.
You know, it's just putting a glove back on, right, and going back at it. So setting's always fun. It's always great to play with really talented players and you know, never miss a beat, right? Even though injuries happen, can't do anything about it, and look forward to it. So I'm so excited to be out here and play with those guys. I mean, how about Kurt tonight? That was awesome.
Unbelievable.
Kevin, can you talk a little bit about sort of how this program is different from Lewis, and then maybe sort of just what it's been like being in this program for the past couple of months?
Yeah, I mean, first thing is this. Never had this before.
Yeah.
This is really cool. Super excited to be here and do all the media stuff. That's just completely new. Never had any of that. So I really wish more programs would have that in the future. Bring more awareness to men's volleyball. But I really love the grind that we have in our practice gym. I'd say that's probably a really big difference is we have so much talent in our gym. And Charlie does a great job of getting really great players, and obviously look at the score tonight. We perform. So it's super exciting to be different culture for sure. Also, like the University of Hawaii men's volleyball, like we're not representing just the university. We're representing the state of Hawaii, which is incredible and super exciting to be a part of that.
One of the least 10 on the teams, and we hear it nonstop from the coaches, is you're in that gym a lot, just training extra reps. When other guys are out, maybe you're at the beach or studying, you're in there a lot. Is this a mentality that you've had since you were young, even when you were at Lewis, or is this something that you've took on since you've come out here?
No, I've always had it. That's just been part of me. Like I'd say my biggest inspiration is Kobe Bryant. And I try to train like that every day. You know, you're only promised one day at a time, and I kind of think that way. So getting after it in the gym, like I was here earlier this morning at 8:30 and got in an hour before serving pass, and then came back and getting after it again. That's who I am. That's always been part of me. So.
When you were deciding to spend your final season somewhere other than Lewis, what were some of the other schools who were some of the other schools you're looking at, and what made your final decision come down to Hawaii?
Well, I think the number one thing was culture. Being a part of that, like I talked about, playing for the state of Hawaii is really cool, and doing things like these, super cool to me. But I'd also say that I I really just was thinking about going pro or going for a national championship. So everybody that was a contender, I was wanting to go be a part of their program. When I entered the portal, I wasn't really thinking about being a starter right away. I just wanted to be back in that culture of fighting for a national championship. So, of course, I figured we'd be the best contenders. And so, of course, I went for the University of Hawaii. So I'm super excited to be here, guys.
You're from outside Chicago.
Yeah.
A little different than Honolulu, obviously.
Yeah.
Though we have the same win recently.
Right.
What are some of the unique new things that you have learned about Hawaii? Food-wise, places you've gone, things like that.
I mean, there's a lot of different things.
Do you eat poke yet? Or?
Yeah, I think we're having it tonight.
Oh, yeah? Okay, good.
Super excited for
Do you
that.
like spam musubis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
2 for 2.
2 for 2. Locomocos, I love those. And I can't go wrong with those. So, I don't know. I eat everything, but different food. I miss my deep dish pizza, I'm not going to lie. So I can't wait to be back in Chicago in the summer and have a Lou Malnati's or Giordano's deep dish pizza. I'd say that's probably my only thing I'm like, man, I can't. But when I was in Indiana last week, I had it. So I got to have Portillo's, I got to have Culver's, I got to have, and I don't eat fast food very often, but when I'm back in my area, I got to spoil myself a little bit. So
Scott, I want to stay on that same train of thought. I want to know, what is your favorite Hawaiian food to eat since you've been here?
Honestly, probably a locomoco. It's very filling, a lot of gravy on top. I don't know. You can't go wrong with that stuff.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with gravy on anything, I don't think. All right, before we cut you loose, we always like to have the players give a shout out. I'm sure you have family and friends back in the Midwest probably checking this out here tonight. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, shout out to my family, Cora, Haley, my mom, my girlfriend, Hannah. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, congratulations. Great job tonight. And maybe we'll have you back here again before the season's done.
Thank you, guys.
Kevin Cowling helping lead Hawaii to the sweep here tonight over the Pioneers of Tusculum. We'll take a break, come back, and have some final thoughts.
From Spectrum Sports, it's the Hawaii Honda Dealers post-game show.
All right, this one's in the book, so let's see what's ahead for UH. We mentioned a big matchup starting on Wednesday against the number 4 Cardinals. The new poll will come out tomorrow. They did lose last night to CSUN, so they may drop a spot or two. So it's a Wednesday-Friday matchup against Stanford, followed by Missouri, S&T, the Miners, and then Sacred Heart as well. This is a long homestand for Hawaii, and they're off to a pretty good start. Your overall thoughts on the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, they're off to a really good start, as we can see. Something that I always like to highlight is the serve and pass game, right? And Hawaii clearly won that, serving in at 86% compared to 73%, right? And there's a lot of different coaching philosophies that you can have when it comes to serving, right? Some coaches like to just keep it in. Some coaches like to just go for it. Hawaii manages to find the combination between both of them, right? Serving in at 90%, but also getting 16 aces. It's pretty incredible.
Hawaii's really finding their rhythm, and I think they're in a good position to go against this Cardinal team who, again, they did lose to CSUN on Saturday night, but an incredible team that also did not play 2 of their starters. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very electric in here on Wednesday night, so I'd highly recommend if you guys come out, watch this game. You're going to want to see it live. TV's not going to show what you want to see, but I think Hawaii's in a very good rhythm. They've really found the touch and the connection with Tread Rosenthal. And again, even Kevin Cowling coming in, if that's going to be something that they're going to need to do, he found the connection with everyone, and they're running the middle a lot more. I think Hawaii's in a very good position and the position they want to be in. I don't think we've seen them play at their best yet, but in this time of the season, I think they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think without question, Wednesday and Friday will be significantly their biggest tests to date at this part of the season. So make your plans to either come out here to Simplify Arena or join us on Spectrum Sports. And I'll wrap things up here on this Super Sunday. Special thanks as always to our terrific, outstanding, hardworking Spectrum Sports crew. And for my broadcast partners, Kanai and James, I'm Scott. Video aloha and a good evening from Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center in Mānoa.